Hey everybody. So I guess my project today is making dry compressor air. So I've been seeing a lot of people have just made an air dryer out of copper tube, and I figured if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me, because I don't do a ton of work with my compressor. But I did get a sandblaster for doing like some of these small spots, like this here, or little areas that you can't really get into, like here, kind of just like for around the welds and stuff, like right there. I want to just kind of throw a coat of paint on this real quick. But so anyway, so I got that kit from Ameriblaster for that Harbor Freight pot blaster, and dry air is pretty much a necessity for it. So like I say, I'm gonna make this air dryer out of this copper tube here, and plus painting too. I'll do a little painting and stuff here and there. But anyway, so I got 4 pieces of 10-foot 3/4 inch pipe. This is the L type, so it's a little thicker than the M type. I cut them all at 4 feet 9 inches, so that way I would have 4 little stubs here that are 6 inches long. So these are going to come down here into the bottom of this, and then the ball valve is going to go into the bottom of this, so I have like a reserve for the water to sit, so as it comes down it has a place to go, and it's not just kind of trying to fill up and blow back into the lines. So I got these fittings here, so it goes from the 3/4 pipe to a 1/2 inch NPT, and I got these guys here, so it's 1/2 inch NPT to 3/8. So I'll run a 3/8 hose, because I have 3/8 hose. If you use 1/2 inch, you probably get a better result, getting more volume with the 1/2 inch. You could run bigger stuff, but I got 3/8 coming out, so it's not a huge deal. Plus, like I say, I have 3/8 air compressor line, so that's what I'm going to go with. So we're going to come in and down, out with the T, and just kind of looping around, and then a 3/8 out. And I'll have that going on my hose reel. So I got all this stuff all cut, pieced together. Like I say, I'll put a list of what I used in the description. It won't be the part numbers or anything, but it'll be basically a list of what I used. I got it all at Home Depot. So I think some of these are, what is this? This is a street elbow to a street elbow down, and another street elbow and street to a regular 90. So I guess I can tell you right now what I used. So I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 3/4 inch street elbows, 2 of the 3/4 to 1/2 inch NPT, 4 T's, and 1, 2, 3 90s, all in 3/4, and then some barb fittings. It's a 3/8 barb to a 1/2 inch. What is a 1/2 inch NPT? Is that I have these 4 of these 3/4 inch solder on ball valves, and then like you see the 4 pieces of pipe, and you need your other stuff to solder it with. I got some of these, actually this came from a different place, but they're just the straps, 3/4 straps. So I'm going to affix it to this couple pieces of, I think it's 2x3 that I had left over from some shelves I made, and I'll just kind of strap it across there so it's affixed to it, and then that should be good. So I had to clean up all these pieces of pipe with a brush here, and I clean up all the inside of the fittings with the other end of the brush. Then we're going to flux and solder them on, or at least attempt to. This will be my first time actually soldering pipe. Doesn't look hard, probably is, and lying to myself, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll give it a try. So I'll clean up all these, if I can get that in there. It's all nice and new, so it's not really worn in. Nice and clean. So you want it all obviously cleaned up for soldering reasons, to get the impurities off, and basically kind of rough it up also to give it a place to adhere to for the solder to grab. Came out pretty good. Might need to go a little deeper with it. So I'll take and go inside the fittings. Nice clean in there. I want to get the shininess off and kind of, like I say, clean it all the way. It's all nice and rough. At least that's what I've seen. Yeah, that's nice. All right, so let's take some of this flux. There's different types of flux. I didn't get the solder paste type that's got the little solder stuff in it. I just got regular. I probably should have got the stuff with the solder powder in there. Probably would have made it a little bit easier, especially for my first time, because it's kind of stink if some of the stuff's leaking, which very good possibility it will. But let's give it a try. I've seen a couple different videos or techniques. They said put the flux on the tube only, not in the fitting, because I guess it can scrape it up into the fitting and then kind of glob up in there. And I've seen some that say put it in both. I guess it's up to you on what you try to do. I might try to put a little bit in the fitting, and then I might put it in the T first, and see if it scrapes off as I put it on there. But I'll definitely put it on the pipes, or the male part that goes into the female section. We'll try that. See how it goes. Yeah, didn't seem to do a big difference. So, from what I've seen or heard, obviously you can only put so much solder on there, and then it will kind of go other places. They say you want to use about the same amount as the diameter of the pipe. So this is 3/4 pipe. You want to use 3/4 of an inch of solder for that pipe, or at least for the fittings. So I think I'm pretty good with most of them. There's one of these that, this one right here, kind of concerned me a little bit because there's like a black spot right on the edge there, and it makes me wonder if I kind of burnt the flux off and it didn't flow, but I guess we'll find out. Definitely doesn't seem super hard, but it's, I wouldn't have what I would call an attractive solder joint there, but I guess for my first time, as long as it holds air, that's all I really care about. I'm not super concerned how pretty it looks. Hot. Again. So I got all these soldered on. So the video I watched, it stated that these new ball valves, because they're got no lead in them or low lead, whatever it is, they don't conduct heat very well. So they say that you want to put a little heat on the pipe here initially to get it to swell and make contact with the inside of the valve, and then you can start heating the valve once you kind of get that swelled up. So I guess you go on that for a couple of seconds. Just heat the pipe up to swell so it makes better contact and better thermal conductivity. Then you can heat the valve. So I was just heating the bottom of the valve here, and you want to direct the flame away from the ball in there, kind of that direction, and to try to keep from getting too much heat in here and damaging the internals on this. And yeah, that's what they say to do. So it actually flowed in there pretty well. We'll see how it goes if I damaged any of the balls. I guess I didn't need to buy as much flux as I bought. Could have got the little thing. So I put this piece of like fencing pipe in here right along with it, and I just got it barely sitting in there just to kind of keep it up. It's not exactly level all the way across. Like right there, it's up a little bit, but it's good enough because I mean I'm gonna have a hose up against there anyway. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be fine. still hot. Alright, so I got a plug in that end. I got an air hose in this end. I'll plug it in, see if we hold pressure. Kind of scared me. I left all them ball valves open. A leak there. That's just at the Teflon tape. Now leak at this Teflon tape. It's gotta be the dirtiest table. Well, it doesn't appear that any of my solder joints are leaking. Hooray for me. Pretty good first try, huh? Just the Teflon tape and the plugs. I'll probably get some thread sealant instead of... Let's get this mounted on... Probably gonna actually mount it right on these two 2x4s I got here, or 2x3s. Alright, so that's about where I put my little air drying thing. I tried to attach it right to the wall with some screws. I drilled some holes, but they didn't seem to want to work very well. So I took it off and I ripped down some 2x6 into 2-inch pieces and put one on each side. Just hung it from the joist there. This one over here ain't really straight, but the joist up there is kind of twisted like this. So rather than try to bend everything, I just kind of let it do what it's gonna do. If you have OCD, don't pay attention to this. I should have put the warning at the beginning, I guess. But anyway, so I'm plumbing it up. Where the line there goes up to my hose reel, and then I'll come out of here and up to there. It should be done. Hopefully I don't have any leaks. Alright, so I used this for about 5-6 hours of sandblasting. I did get a little bit of water that made it through into the water separator that's on the sandblaster, but I mean basically it was running non-stop for, like I say, about 5-6 hours, so I really can't fault that some of it got through just because you get such a constant flow. I mean, if it was something that you just normally kind of running, I think it would probably get all of it, but being, like I say, that it's pretty much a constant flow all the time and it's such a high volume that it just couldn't get all the water out. But we'll see how much is in here. So I haven't drained this yet. I probably got like a 1/4 of a cup out of the bottom of the air compressor already. So we'll see how much is in here. So we had nothing in the first one. Quite a bit in the third one. So this seems like it gets more and more the farther it goes. It's kind of weird there was nothing on the first one. Yep, guess not. So it must have just got too hot, because this tank will actually get really hot as it's going. The heat probably just overwhelmed these first two, and it wasn't condensating on it. Like I say, it got more and more towards the end as it kind of cooled down. But if I made probably another 2 rows, it probably would obviously help a little bit more. I think I have 40 feet of pipe, roughly, or actually probably a little bit less, because I got these 6-inch pieces, so that's probably, I got 48 feet, or no, 38 feet of pipe here. So it probably would have been better if I did 2 more and did 50 feet. I think you're supposed to have between 40 and 50 feet. But I guess I cut it a little bit short, but I mean, basically you're looking at like $50 a row, because it was a little over $200 for all the stuff. So if I did another row, it would have probably been another 50 bucks. This is $37 for the one pipe, and then the fittings, and this was part of the pipe. I think this was like $14. So 37, 47, 50, and then yeah, you're probably looking at $55, $60 to do another row. So yeah, eventually you have to kind of call it. I mean, I say it probably would have been better if I did another row, but it is what it is. So I got this much water out. I can't really tip it, but it's basically, it's at this line right in there. So we got this much water in those 3, and then probably a little bit of water out of the compressor itself. So probably got half a cup. I mean, there's probably a couple of teaspoons or something that made it through to the water separator at the sandblaster. But I mean, it worked pretty well for what you could expect running it that long and just constant flow. So I say it's good enough for what I'm going to do with it.